And there's structure all over out here. You just got to find it. And finding it is not that difficult. But you got to move very, very slowly and cover the whole area that you're wanting to cover. You know, a cut like this, it may take me a couple of weeks to cover the whole thing. Just going back and forth. And that's not fishing. That's just finding, just going back and forth and finding stuff. But I've got over 600 places marked out here. The majority of them I have probably never fished. So we may go and see if we can find some of those now and see if there's anything on them that we want to fish for. Meaning that there would be fish there. Because I don't care, I'll catch them. So according to my GPS, I've taken the boat out of gear. I'm just letting the wind blow us. And the wind's blowing us 2.5 miles an hour. And that's about the speed that you want to go when you're looking for these spots on the bottom to fish. Because it gives your depth finder an opportunity to show more definition and clean the lens. But as I was saying, going slow gives your depth finder an opportunity to show you the definition on the bottom. If you're going 30 miles an hour, you can't see any definition at all. Most of the places out here in all these bays, whether it's East Bay, St. Andrews Bay, West Bay, they're small areas. You may have a pretty good sized area of live bottom, which is what we just left. It was probably 50 feet wide and 50 feet long. I mean, it was a pretty good sized area. The stuff we've got offshore is a whole lot bigger than that. You know, it may be a couple 100 feet long and 50 feet wide. But inshore, you're not going to find that. Or I haven't found it yet anyway, other than the pipeline. So I'm basically just letting the boat drift. I'm trying to keep it in a straight line, and I'm watching my bottom machine, my depth finder, and I'm just looking for little pieces of structure down there. Now you're not going to see rocks that stick, 3 or 4 feet up off the bottom, and then 30 feet of water. It's going to look like just a little bit of a deviation in the bottom. The most important thing is learn how to read your electronics. And you can find everything out here. Coming over here to look at this buoy, see if maybe there's a triple tail or something around it. We don't have a real big shrimp population that I'm aware of inside the bay, so we don't get a lot of triple tail inside the bay. We get them outside the bay, offshore. I don't see anything there. But here's an example of what I'm talking about with what you find. So that's fish on this side of that buoy right there. So we're going to turn around and we're going to fish it. There's structure on the bottom right there. This is all live bottom. This is some structure right there on the bottom. This is all fish and bait. And where there's bait, there's going to be fish of some kind. Let me turn around and I'll anchor up on the side of that buoy. We'll see if they'll bite, whatever it is. A lot of times it'll be lane snapper and mangrove snapper. And I don't really have small enough equipment to be able to throw small baits. If I had some shrimp, it would probably be better. But they'll bite cut bait. And this is the Coast Guard buoy over here right next to Tyndall Air Force Base. If you fish out here, I'm sure you know where that Coast Guard buoy is. It's the only white buoy that I know of over here. And we're in 30 feet of water. As soon as they hit the bottom, getting bit. That's a pretty big chunk of bait. And they pulled it off. Oh, there we go. Little red snapper. Little red snapper. Another little red snapper. And he spit up one of the heads that I had chummed with. All over me. But these marker buoys that are scattered out through the bay, you can pull up on just about any of them, probably any of them, but just about any of them. And if you'll look around that buoy, you'll find where the fish are at. Most of the red snapper are going to be the smaller ones, but the lanes and the mangroves will probably be keepers. God, what is missing me? And if you've got, a couple dozen shrimp, you can pull up on a spot like this and whack them, just wear them out. They don't make a mess in your boat. But as soon as the bait hits the bottom, they're on it. If I've got people in the boat that all they want to do is catch fish, this is what I'll do. I'll pull up to one of these buoys, anchor up. Usually I'll use shrimp or small cut bait, and it's every drop they've got a fish on. Now, none of the red snapper that I'm catching right now are keepers. They're just not. But they're still fun to catch. They put up a good fight. And they're willing eaters. Literally as soon as bait hits the bottom, they're on it. Oh. And even with this kind of fishing, you have to use a circle hook. But with a circle hook, you don't want to set the hook, you want to just reel. know it looks like I'm setting the hook sometimes, but I'm really not. Another little red snapper. All of these are 2-year-old red snapper. And I love to see those 1 and 2-year-old red snapper, because that means that we're going to have red snapper in the bay for a while. It looks like it's mostly red snapper here right now. Best thing to do when they're flopping around in the bottom of the boat is use a rag. Because they will cut you. I've got scars on my hands to prove it. And occasionally on these marker buoys, there'll be grouper and bigger snapper and stuff like that. And you can do this with a jig head too. I mean, you don't have to use a bottom knocker or a Carolina rig or anything like that. You can use a jig head. Just a 1/4 ounce jig head. Put the bait on the hook. Still catch them. I don't do that very often. And they do make jig heads with circle hooks. But with a jig head, you don't have to use a circle hook. It's just a better idea. Little red snapper.